How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel and the podcast. That's Vic. I'm Carl. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't had a chance yet, yeah, nice hat, by the way. It's a hat you're wearing?
Bears.
Yeah. So if you haven't had a chance yet, hit that subscribe button down below. Also, hit the like. That helps us out also. And if you hit the notification bell, you get notified whenever we do the uploads. So, Vic, yesterday up in Lambeau Field.
Number 9.
Number 9, as this is Windy City Digits. My favorite number 9. One of my favorite number 9s. Robbie Gould knocked the Packers out of the playoffs.
Oh, thoughts? Say it ain't so, man. Let's do some Stacey King. Give me some hot sauce.
Right. I mean,
that was so sweet.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, and Twitter was going ballistic, seeing Rodgers, limp out there with his COVID toe, his bad finger. Comparisons to, actually not comparisons. They were talking about Favre and Rodgers, 30 years of them QBing and only 2 Super Bowls. I don't know.
Yeah, that was kind of surprising.
I'd be happy with 2 Super Bowls in 30 years, though.
I mean, look, I guess
we have none. We have none in 30 years.
Yeah, look, we have none in 30 years. But look, we have a lot of friends that are Packer fans, and
yes,
all we hear about how Rodgers is the GOAT. Rodgers is, he's unbelievable. He's a great regular season quarterback.
He is really
a great
good,
regular season quarterback, right?
Yeah.
But you're at home, right? I mean, look, if the Bears play at home in January, we love it. We take advantage of that weather. We do what we can to use that to our advantage, right? Packers lost last year.
Well, maybe not Nagy.
Packers lost again this year, right?
Maybe not Nagy.
Right, but I mean, look,
Nagy would still pass.
I don't see how Rodgers to me yesterday looked like he was playing not to lose that game. He wasn't aggressive in the second half. He had 20 yards passing. He had 225 at the half, and I think he finished with 275 for the game.
Yeah.
And the game was close.
Do you think it was a mistake that the Bears got rid of Robbie Gould?
Oh yeah. For sure. I think I've told you this before.
I think most Bears fans do, yeah.
Look, if Robbie Gould was still on the team and we don't have Parker kicking that field goal.
Cody Parker.
Right? I mean, who knows how far we would have gone. Who knows how much better we would have been.
Why does Cody Parker sound like a Fisher-Price made-up name?
That's a great question. I don't know. I can't answer
I don't know.
that.
So let me ask you this. What does this do for the Bears? This loss for the Packers, what does it do for the Bears? Sensei?
Okay. So I'm glad you asked that question. I'm going to make a bold prediction here. Okay? Mark it on your calendars. January 23rd, 2022. And I may be the first person to predict this. Okay? I think it's going to help the Bears, and this is why I think so. With
your Grand Poobah hat on.
With both Brady and Rodgers saying they're not sure what they're going to do next year, my prediction is that Brady's going to retire and Rodgers is going to sign with Tampa Bay.
Okay. All right, that's not a bad prediction.
And
they'll
because
get
that team
they'll get Godwin. They'll get Godwin back. They'll still have Mike Evans.
Yeah, and
they got a pretty good D still.
And there's, Roger said he doesn't want to be part of a rebuild. Okay, Tampa Bay is not a rebuild. Tampa Bay is ready to win now and today. And
I don't know what their salary cap is because I read that the Packers' salary cap is pretty god-awful. So
I guarantee you, if Rodgers has a chance to win a championship in Tampa Bay, he'll take whatever they were paying Brady.
Yeah.
He'll take a pay cut to go there.
Okay, so how does that impact the Bears?
Because now that albatross or that, back in the day when it was the Bulls and the Pistons, right? And we could never break through because we could never beat the Pistons. Now this opens this up
we
for
did,
us.
though. But the Bulls did, just so you know.
Look, look,
a big
they did, but
difference
like
between the Bears.
now we can go into Lambeau and there's
Yes.
not that mystique. There's not that aura of, oh God, like even if we're up 14,
Yeah. Yes.
right?
Yeah.
That's the way I think. I think like, because look, Jordan Love's going to step in and be this magical quarterback. Look, you had
Not happening
Favre.
this time. No.
Like you had Favre had this long run,
Yeah.
right? You had Rodgers have this long run. Look, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe Jordan Love is the next coming of great Packers quarterbacks.
No way.
As long as the Bears don't screw up the general manager thing and they don't screw up the coaching thing, I think we're okay. Like I think Detroit is still not very good, right? And the Vikings just fired their general manager and head coach, so they're going to be kind of in
Detroit
a rebuild.
was pretty darn competitive those last 4 or 5 games, man. They looked actually
They were competitive
pretty good.
every week. I think
Yeah.
I think they led the league in like most losses by less than 7 points.
Could be. I don't know that. We'd have to look
so
that up. Yeah.
I think they were in it most of the time, right? So
Did you just ring over there? Do you have some kind of clock? Sounded like a cuckoo clock. One flew over the
I didn't
cuckoo's
hear
nest?
anything. Maybe
I don't
that's
know.
you.
I'm thinking you're going crazy. Why don't we turn to the next subject? Grayson
Okay.
Allen.
Grayson Allen. Okay, Grayson Allen. It was announced today, just a little while ago. This is Sunday when we record this. That Grayson Allen's getting a 1-game suspension. I think that's a joke. I think him getting only 1 game for the amount, like, ask any NBA player, even probably players on the Bucks, right? That was a dangerous play. I don't care how you slice it, like how you try to defend it. That was a dangerous play. If you grab a guy, if you're going to hard foul a guy, hard foul him, that's fine, but you better grab him. Like, you better make sure he doesn't land on the floor.
Yes.
Or, he made no attempt. He practically threw him onto the ground. And luckily it was only just a fractured wrist. If that was a broken wrist, that's a long recovery from a broken wrist. Right?
Yeah. It's bad. It's bad either way, but 1 game is pretty weak.
What do you think?
One of the things that I do think, I think the NBA has become a little bit softer in terms of the falls they call over the years, obviously. So I used to like that kind of play. I mean, when we used to watch the Pistons and the Bulls in the early 90s, that's how it was a lot
That's
of
how
the
the league was.
Yeah. So, but now, I mean, obviously it's different now. So when you see that kind of play, I don't know, you get more irritated. And
You know what? I think you're right because back in the day, especially like we saw the Bulls and the Knicks go at it all the time, right?
Yeah.
And if you were a player going on a fast break and you knew Xavier McDaniel was coming down the court to defend you, you braced yourself.
Yeah, you thought differently. Yeah, or you went up in a different way. And not that, I mean, maybe that's something Caruso wasn't anticipating either. I bet if he was in the early '90s, he would have maybe he would have went up differently. I don't know, but it's 1 game, maybe a week. I know a lot of people were calling for the same kind of punishment, the same timeline as Alex Caruso is going to be out. I think that's a little bit much, but Grayson Allen has more things like this happen, then that punishment's has to increase.
What I think is funny is that if you check on Twitter after they announced the suspension, all the people in Milwaukee are just like showing videos of how Giannis gets pushed around, right? And he's getting bumped. Yeah, you know what? He's a big guy. He's going to get pushed. He's going to get bumped. But they're not fouling him when he's making full head of steam, driving toward the basket, right? And they're not trying to knock him over. Like, he's in the in the post, they bump him, right?
Giannis,
he's standing still.
Giannis gets way too many calls too. So, but so does DeMar. I saw DeMar get a call today where I don't think the Orlando Magic guy even touched him, but just the way the refs perceive DeMar drawing fouls, he gets a lot of fouls called on him. I think Giannis has a lot of more offensive fouls than are called on him. Which you were upset about Vooch, pushing his elbow. I think a lot of the falls that get called have got to be more consistent.
I agree, completely agree.
Yeah, so he should add more than a game. We both agree on that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so everyone, thanks a lot for tuning in for this week's episode. We'll be doing some live streams again after the Bulls games this week, and then we'll be having another episode next week. We'd love to hear your comments down below. Thanks everyone who commented on our last video about Alex Caruso. So if you got some thoughts on either the Bears and Robbie Gould, and how this, now that the Packers lost, how it affects us, the Bears, and also any thoughts on the Alex Caruso, Grayson Allen situation and the suspension, we'd love to hear your comments down below. Thanks again for tuning in. Hit the subscribe button and the like and the bell so you get notified as soon as we upload a new video. So, all right, Vic, talk to you soon. Talk to everyone.
You got it. All right,
Thanks
take care, everybody.
Bye.